Hey, my name is Agent Psycho, and this is going to be what I believe to be the 68th chapter of the Exploring the Arsenal series. Once again, if I am incorrect, then the title description will say everything, because right now I am in the midst of still uploading all the previous Exploring the Arsenal chapters to up to my channel and putting them under scheduled uploaders. So right now, as of now, it's somewhere in the high 60s, maybe 67, maybe 68, but it's somewhere around there. So once again, the title say everything, will say everything, and hopefully I will get to the point where I'm actually caught up to all my Exploring the Arsenal videos, so I can, properly say what the chapter title is or the chapter number is for future future reviews. But in any case, this chapter we're going to be reviewing the Howa Type 89. This is I believe this is a Japanese assault rifle. Yes, it is a Japanese assault rifle, 5.56 millimeter. I believe this is one of their standard issue rifles. I'm not really too sure about Japanese firearms because if you guys didn't know, if you guys aren't history majors or historians for that matter, or people who are just interested in history to begin with, Japan was obviously demilitarized by America after World War II. So I mean, Japan doesn't really have much of a military, but as of late, in like the late 90s or something like that, I believe they did, or America basically allowed them to rearm to a certain extent. So they did develop their own firearms and whatnot, and the Howa Type 89 was one of them. So yeah, it is another GP assault rifle, unlocked as the rank of Second Lieutenant 4 in Combat Arms. And yeah, let's get started on the review. So, first of all, its damage. Combat Arms Wiki says that it has a damage rating of 37. Now, this is exceptionally low even for an assault rifle, because this pretty much ranks it in between the damage ratings of, say, the FAMAS and the M4A1. If you guys don't recall, or if you guys recall, the damage rating on the FAMAS was a 36. I believe the SG5FO also had a damage rating of 36, and the M4A1 and the M416 both have a damage rating of 38. So this basically puts Howa Type 89 right in between them, ideally speaking. However, the damage is quite honestly higher than the M4A1s. Let's just put it at that. I believe that Combat Arms Wiki does have the damage rating incorrect, and it doesn't feel anywhere near 37. I'm adamant that it's more powerful than the M416 and the M4A1. I believe it should be more like 39 or 40, and it should be that way because the Howa Type 89 just doesn't kill slow enough to be able to have a legit 37 damage rating. So even though Combat Arms Wiki says that it does have a 37 damage rating, don't believe them, because you kill people faster than that. As for its damage drop-off, it is typical of most assault rifles in that it is a pretty good damage drop-off. The Howa Type 89 in particular, though, it seems to have a better damage rating or damage profile over range than do other assault rifles, in that it takes less bullets to kill people, or it takes more bullets to kill people at long range, obviously, than it is at close range, but it takes less bullets if you think about it, as compared to like the M4A1. Like, say, if the M4A1 takes like, what, 7, 8 bullets to kill at long range, then the Howa Type 89 can kill them in like 6 or 7 on average. So that's what I mean by it requires less bullets to kill them at long range, and yeah, in any case, the damage on the Howa Type 89 is pretty good, and it shouldn't be something that you can just pass off on the Howa Type 89. Portability. The portability on the Type 89 is actually pretty high. It's the same as the INSAS according to Combat Arms Wiki at 63. So this is obviously one of your more portable assault rifles in Combat Arms, because most other assault rifles have only like, what, 60 or less than that. So yeah, there you go. Rate of fire. The rate of fire is exceptionally high on the Howa Type 89. This is tied with the Rec 7 with the highest rate of fire in the game as far as assault rifles go. I believe it's the highest anyway. I don't remember any assault rifle off the top of my head that has higher than a 76 rate of fire. So yeah, the Howa Type 89 has a 76 rate of fire, and it's very good. But there is a problem with that, and you guys can probably know why later on. Accuracy. The accuracy on the Howa Type 89 is very high at 87. This is pretty much higher than your average, because I think the average assault rifle accuracy is like 84, 85. So yeah, obviously the Howa Type 89 is very much so suited for long range combat and mid range combat, and you should take advantage of that. Recoil. Now here's where the Howa Type 89 starts having problems. The recoil rating, as given by Commodore's Wiki, is at a 67, and technically speaking, this is the same as the INSAS, and I believe the TAR 21 camo and the TAR 21 Mark II. However, because it's just a number, I'll go on to explain how the recoil is a bad thing on the Howa Type 89. The recoil spread on the Howa Type 89 it's very large. It kind of reminds me of the TAR 21 in its behavior, like how the spread initially spreads out, but it doesn't have the same max spread as the TAR 21. I would say though that it spreads out as fast as the TAR 21. It's just that its max spread on the Type 89 is smaller than that of the TAR 21, so it's not as bad to deal with. However, because it spreads out pretty fast, pretty quickly, I would highly recommend that you burst fire with it at far middle range and at long range if need be. At close range and close middle range, then I suppose you can just spray at them. Definitely close range, because I mean, at close range, what does recoil matter, right? And in fact, let me talk about another aspect of recoil later on in just a little bit here about why that may be advantageous. But for now, as far as recoil spread goes, it's pretty terrible. I'm not gonna lie, and it might not be the worst, but it's definitely up there amongst the worst, so you may want to be careful with that. As for Recoil Kickback, the Recoil Kickback is pretty bouncy. That's what she said too, or I should say that's what he said. The Recoil Kickback makes it so that it really feels like the gun is kicking around a lot in your hands, especially while hip firing. While the recoil pattern of the kickback may kick around in a perfect circle, it's still noticeable, and because of that, you may miss a few shots because directly as a direct consequence of your gun kicking around too much. So the recoil kickback may throw off your aim. So I recommend that you pay attention to that, because it might make you miss a few bullets that otherwise could have killed your enemy when you died. One thing about the recoil pattern and just the overall recoil behavior of the Howa Type 89 is that it seems to get you a lot of lottos for no reason. I remember back in the day when the Howa Type 89 was first released that I got a lot of lottos in the first game that I played with. I was like, holy shit, this thing is a lotto machine. So yeah, I would highly recommend that if you guys have a decent amount of luck with you, if you're one of those people who are feeling lucky punks, then did I just say lucky? If you're feeling lucky, then use a Type 89. It'll probably get you a lot of headshots, just like those random lottos that first bullet, oh, it's a headshot, sweet, those kinds of deals. It's a pretty good rifle for getting those, and it's not even a submachine gun. So there you go. At middle range, I highly recommend you guys just spray, because even though I did mention that it's got a high recoil spread and it's pretty bad, even if you just aim at their middle body section, the recoil kickback makes it so that the Type 89's max recoil spread is it's just basically covering their entire body, and because the bullet pattern is typically at least for the Type 89 is pretty unpredictable, so chances are one of the bullets is going to hit someone in the head. So there you go. Might as well spray at middle range if you're gonna, if you're caught out in the open with a Type 89. Maybe you'll kill them with a lotto. Who knows? It's a very good chance that you'll be able to do so in any case. As for overall recoil controllability, it's still pretty tough to manage. I mean, the recoil kickback is, again, one of the main cons about the Type 89, and that's why most people don't use it, because the recoil pattern is, just a little bit too heavy and too difficult to manage. So that's why people don't really use it all that often, if at all. So yeah, there you go. Tapfire Ability. The Tapfire Ability on the Howa Type 89 is definitely possible, but because of it, due to its high recoil pattern and high recoil kickback, per shot it kicks up very high, even with the ACOG and even with the iTech, I believe. I've never really used the iTech on the Howa, but I have used the ACOG, as you can see in this gameplay, and you can see that the recoil kickback on the Howa Type 89 is pretty high. So Tapfire Ability is not necessarily the best. In fact, it's probably on the lower tier of Tapfire Ability as far as assault rifle Tapfire Ability goes. But it's definitely possible, and the only thing that you need to worry about typically is not only its high recoil kickback, that's obvious, but also the fact that it overtapfires. It kicks around. It starts kicking up straight up and down, as most assault rifles do anyway, except for like the Scar L. But very soon, if you tap fire way too fast, which is very easy to do, trust me, on the Type 89, then it'll start kicking around like diagonally left, diagonally right, and all that, all that not so fun stuff that typically assault rifles do to you when they don't have a good Tapfire ability. So yeah, although the Type 89 does have a pretty good Tapfire ability, it's definitely not the best, and nor do I expect anyone to really master the Tapfire ability on the Howa Type 89. I should really stop speaking so damn fast, but yeah, it's definitely possible, and I mean, you gotta do it anyway if you want to take people out at long range, so it's not like you have a choice. Sprint drawback. Sprint drawback on the Howa Type 89. I mean, for generally speaking, sprint drawback, draw speed, and center speed are all pretty similar amongst assault rifles. So the Howa Type 89 would categorize itself under. I would categorize the Type 89 under those average stats like moderate or something like that. So yeah, it's not like the FS 2000 where it has an exceptionally fast center speed or something like that. So in fact, I would consider that the Type 89 has a slower center speed than do most assault rifles. But that's just me thinking that it's so because it's got a high recoil kickback and stuff. So yeah, we'll just skip through all those because they're generally the same amongst assault rifles anyway. Reload speed. I mean, that should be pretty average too, so we'll skip over that as well. It's not exceptionally fast, but it's not exceptionally slow either. It's not like a what's the assault rifle that reloads really slowly? I don't even know, but whatever. You guys probably know for yourselves. Fire modes. The Howa Type 89 is capable of 3-round burst fire or automatic fire, so toggle between them as you wish, and yeah, fine and dandy. As for its luck, I've already covered that. It's extremely lucky. Chances are, if you pray for a headshot, you probably will get it. Ammo capacity. It's a standard. It's standard for most assault rifles at 30 rounds per magazine and 90 in reserve. Nothing too special there. As for key physical characteristics, I believe the Howa Type 89 is the only assault rifle in combat arms to cosmetically have a bipod. So, typically speaking, you only see bipods on like sniper rifle. Well, the TRGSC is the only sniper rifle that actually have a cosmetic bipod. But you typically see them on machine guns like the RPK. Wait, does the RPK even have? Yeah, the RPK has a bipod. I think the Mini-Me should have a bipod as well. So yeah, the Howa Type 89, strangely enough, it has a cosmetic bipod for whatever reason. I'm pretty sure it's the only assault rifle to have a cosmetic bipod, but yeah, it's pretty cool that way. And that's definitely one way to distinguish the Howa Type 89 from other assault rifles, because of the fact that it has a bipod that you can't even use. How great is that? Muzzle noise. It's got a pretty low frequency muzzle noise. What do I want to say? It's got a pretty unique muzzle noise. I can't really think of any other assault rifle that sounds like the Howa Type 89. Huh, interesting. Maybe that's another thing that you could distinguish the Type 89 when somebody's actually using it, but there you go. If it does sound similar to something, then I suppose that's your choice. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm pretty sure there's nothing else that sounds like the Type 89. I have to think about that a little bit more. Anyways, moving on to the attachment options, you can attach anything on your Type 89, suppressors, magazine mods, or scopes. Anything's a good deal. Let's see, as for whether it's fireteam worthy, I mean, I would say it's pretty fireteam worthy, because the Howa Type 89 is pretty damn powerful. Just that the recoil might make you miss some of your bullets, but because it's a high power assault rifle, I mean, I would say that's pretty good for fireteam. I mean, I've never personally used it in fireteam like Cabin Fever or Black Lung. Maybe I should and see how I like it. But seeing that it's pretty powerful, I shouldn't really expect that it has any problems with in Cabin Fever, Black Lung, not like the SG550 or the FAMAS, where they just have such little damage that it's like doing jack squat to them. But yeah. Anyways, as for quarantine worthy, definitely it's because of its high portability. It's better for quarantine than like the G3060 or something like that. But I mean, still, it's an assault rifle. You typically don't use assault rifles for quarantine. So yeah, you might want to bring something a little bit better than that. As for my frank personal opinions, the Howa Type 89 is actually one of the more decent assault rifles in combat arms. I mean, its main con obviously is its very high recoil and very unpredictable recoil pattern and bullet pattern as well. However, due to its very high luck and percentage of getting headshots for you if you're just like randomly spraying at someone, and because of the fact that it has overall very high damage even if you don't get a headshot, and extremely high rate of fire. I mean, just look at it. Look at the Howa Type 89 stats for a GP weapon. That's a really good lineup of stats there. I mean, you've got the highest rate of fire among, or one of the highest rates of fire that's available for assault rifles. You've got very high accuracy. You've got pretty high portability, and the damage, even though Collins Wiki says it has a 37, it's got a pretty good damage as well. So combine that together, and although the recoil may be a problem for you, that's a pretty good DPS time for just for a GP standard assault rifle. So the Howa Type 89 is a really good GP standard assault rifle. I highly recommend that you guys use it. Just that some of you guys may be turned off because of the fact that, you know, it has a pretty high recoil kickback and whatnot. Just an overall high recoil to begin with. So yeah, I personally do very much so recommend it. I mean, there's always the 3-round burst function for those of you guys who are fans of the 3-round burst function, and I mean, it could definitely help you at middle range where you don't feel like, you know, going full auto is an option for you. Then you can just toggle on your burst mode and you can just try aim for the head and see if you can score a headshot that way. And so yeah, this will end the review on the Howa Type 89. My name is Agent Psycho, aka Sniper 98, and yeah, I'll see you guys later in the next review.